This is Channel 253.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
So what's the point exactly of doing the pellets?
So you break down all the vegetal matter, all the leafiness and everything. You give the liquid way more access to the glands that are inside the hops.
Oh, yeah.
That's the official reason.
Yeah.
The secondary reason is we're drunk and it keeps us busy. And it's just really cool.
Yeah.
It's really
makes for a great picture.
Yeah, because we were the ones dumping it.
Yeah.
It's probably,
It kept us busy.
Yeah.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington. There's so many people in here.
Packed house.
Yeah, that's still a work
Lucky
day.
we got a seat.
It's a work day. It's
I know, right?
Hard work
This is
being
work.
here.
This is side hustle. Someday.
Yes,
Someday. My name is Matt McLaren. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm here as always with Ron Swarner.
Hi, my name is Ron. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a month and a half.
I know, dude. You've been gone. Although doing all kinds of awesome shit, and I'm excited to talk about it. Bethany, how are you?
Great.
Great.
Also,
Also,
good
welcome
to
back.
see you guys. Yeah, we got the band back together. It feels nice.
I know. Phaedra's on mic.
Hello.
Doug is on mic.
V Gates.
Hello. How are you guys?
Groovy.
Yeah? Good.
Kinda.
I'm excited to talk about beer stuff. You guys have been doing all kinds of interesting beer stuff.
Far-flung beer stuff.
I know. Holy cow. Yeah, I guess before we get into all the catching up, what's everybody drinking? What do you have, Bethany?
Sea of Leaves,
Sea of Leaves? Which one?
the one you have.
Oh, that's the Logan one, right?
Logan.
Okay, yeah, I could not remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh hop.
Yep, I'm doing that also, but I threw in a side of Breakside Fresh Hop IPA.
Yeah.
Delish.
Yes. That Breakside is like, it could use a couple of days. It's still pretty green.
Yeah.
It's great, though. Phaedra, what are you drinking?
I'm being contrary, or the other half of Hoptoberfest. I'm doing the Oaktoberfest from Firestone
Right on.
Walker.
That's a delicious beer.
It is
And
also,
delicious.
it's still Oktoberfest.
It is still.
Yeah.
I'm Firestoning as well. It's lovely.
Yeah?
It's very balanced.
Are you guys going to switch
Lovely.
to fresh hops on the break?
Well, we'll have to, won't we?
I know, and you can garnish it with our
Yeah.
with our centerpiece.
With our centerpiece.
we'll get there.
So did you guys bring these all the way back from Yakima, or what's going on here?
Oh, they're Brunsman's.
Are they Brunswick?
Thanks, Rob.
Shout out to Rob. He's been gone for a while, but he still comes in clutch.
I need more.
Trying
Please
to
bring
figure
them.
out what they are. Nobody knows.
No?
Ron's guess is Centennial.
Just because they were here so early. But I don't know.
It's not giving me Centennial vibes,
That's
but
fair context.
No?
no.
Rob doesn't know what they are?
I can't remember if he told me.
It's giving me more like Summit.
They're like
Or something.
American
Warriors.
Golding is like the common wild hop
Maybe
that
they're-
grows.
Golding.
Yeah,
Yeah, originally I
nugget.
said. Yeah.
Smells like
Noble.
weed,
Does it
dude.
smell like
Yeah.
garlic and onion?
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
American Golding.
Yeah.
That's like, if you have wild hops in your yard, you might get lucky and they might be something awesome, but chances are they're probably just American Golding,
Not
which is,
Neo-Mexicus.
they can be tough to use.
You probably don't have Citra growing in your backyard.
I know.
Mosaic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, that smells like the inside of a Chili's.
Yeah. Garlic
Some
and
awesome
onion.
blossom right here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure American Golding. So yeah, you guys have all been to Yakima super recently. So what the fuck is going on there? Bethany, we talked about why you were over there. So if you guys were listening last time, Bethany went over to talk to a big group of beer nerds about why clean beer lines are important. So how did that go?
Yeah. Went really well. I think, it was I think it was a really well-run chapter meeting. I hadn't been to one of those before, the Master Brewers Association. Ricky Wells invited me out, and she was the bestest hostess with the mostest. She did such a great job, and it was really fun being out there. I felt like there was a lot of representation there too, like as far as a conference, chapter meeting goes.
In the craft beer industry.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes, there was a little bit of diversity there.
Sweet.
And it was
me.
nice. Yeah. A little less you, a little more me.
Totally. Also great beer name.
But yeah, the presentation went okay. I was pretty nervous, but I think it went fine.
How long did you have to talk?
It's 20 minutes, 20 to 25.
Dang.
And then I was the very last one to go, and everyone was antsy to get to the sports center. So we just saved the Q&A for the sports center, which I was relieved about. I'm like, that's fine. I don't need to be asked questions I don't know the answer to. I was nervous about the Q&A. But anyway,
Sure.
I had a lot of people come up and talk to me, nerd out about line cleaning with me. It was pretty fun. And had some other great presentations there. A lot about NA safety of NA stuff on draft, which was interesting. I gotta put my thoughts together to talk more about it, but we had some really good presentations, and we did hop rubs with Ricky, and
Sweet.
Met a lot of good people. Networked, and it was really fun.
What is the consensus on the safety of NA versus alcohol?
Jury's out.
Is it still?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very safe. the potential.
But just better safe than sorry at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, and probably nothing bad will happen. But really, it's more of it's an FDA. If you're making something that doesn't have alcohol in it, that's an FDA thing. And so you kind of need to be checking your boxes with them, making sure what you're making is okay and safe to drink. pH is really important if you're making an NA something. But yeah, basically the problem with NA stuff on draft is the lack of alcohol there. So you don't have that safety measure to ward off the really bad pathogens that can grow, like E. coli or salmonella or those things that can really make you sick. Alcohol will stave off any of that, but not if you don't have enough alcohol in it.
Yeah, I do want to be clear about that, because I feel like maybe the way we're talking about it, it sounds like we're comparing it to something like gluten-free versus non-gluten-free, where you can cross-contaminate lines, and somebody who's hypersensitive can be affected by a beer that has glutamic protein in it if they're ordering off a gluten-free line or something like that. When we say safety of NA beer, it's literally that being in draft lines are porous, and like Bethany said, there's not a lot of alcohol. There's no alcohol to keep all the bacteria away. So that's what we mean by safety. It's not cross-contamination. It's actually making sure your product isn't dangerous to consume on draft. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, I would stick to canning and bottling, and even then you have to take some kind of more serious measures. It's not just, we're making another beer and throwing it in a tank, and we did one caustic cycle, that's enough. It's very you need to treat it differently.
Sure.
The hop waters and the NA beers.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Man, I'm gonna I don't know. Now that NA beer is such a huge chunk of especially new consumers in the industry, I feel I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of updates on this over the next year or two. I'm sure.
Do you have a lot in your catalog?
We work with a few, but
drafts?
No draft. We don't do any
draft. Because even I think Athletic was doing draft, and they have been getting some questions too. And I had somebody tell me that they had done another presentation at some other place, and people were kind of firing questions at them, well, what about the safety? And they weren't really answering a whole lot. There's just not a lot of research done out there. There's not enough experience and research on it yet to really be yes, this is exactly how you do it and how to make it safe. So.
Right. Athletic has been a big proponent of pasteurization. But a lot of which is good, but a lot of small NA producers have had a lot of criticism about that, because it is much easier to pasteurize beer when you're a gigantic company,
sure,
like Athletic, versus a small local brewer who is trying to make an NA option for their regular consumers.
Yeah.
They can't pasteurize their beer probably,
right.
Or at least not in a way that is actually safe for NA beer. So that's been a pretty common criticism. But if Athletic was doing it and they were pasteurizing, that could be why they chose to do that. But so far, I still only have ever really seen them in package.
Yeah.
Man, I'm jealous that you got to hang out with a bunch of beer nerds. And Ricky. I miss Ricky. She needs to come back.
Were there good questions about the line cleaning?
Yeah, somebody had issues getting terpenes out of their lines, which I had not a good answer for. I was laying awake at night being like, what should I suggest? And I didn't really have a good answer. I think it's a lot like except I said, it's a lot like peppers, the capsaicin and peppers will like really stick to your line. Like we can't get that, I can't get that out. So I'm assuming it's the same sort of thing where it's an oil that like just doesn't come out of your lines very well. Yeah. So careful with the terpenes.
Certainly there's like some dipshit pothead teenager who figured out if you put like carrots and baking soda into the laundry and it got that smell out of his clothes. There's got to be some sort of thing out there.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
carrots and baking soda?
Yeah. Like if you want your clothes to stop smelling like weed
like
so you don't get in trouble at church on Sunday.
Broccoli didn't work.
Yeah, those are terpenes that you're smelling.
So I told him to buy baby carrots and stick them in the line.
Exactly. There's got to
shove 'em in there.
some kid out there who's got to create a solution to this.
Yes.
Like you could be running some goofy thing through your lines that he was putting into his laundry so he wouldn't get in trouble at church on Sunday.
How about just laundry soap?
Huh? That doesn't get terpenes
It doesn't?
out?
Oh.
No, I don't even know. I don't even
You know a lot about this, yeah.
Mom, I'm going to plant carrots.
Mom, I'm doing my laundry.
Yeah, I'm so helpful.
Yeah, I know. That's a good question. If anybody has ever had, like, because 420 beers were super popular, and you would get
just
like
New Belgium.
New Belgium.
New Belgium took 3 kegs.
Yep. To get out. What was the name of the beer?
Smells like weed.
It does smell. I mean,
It's probably not the
It
name.
had
That's
actual.
not the name.
Like,
No, it's
had actual like terp oils
like
from
2018.
Yep.
Something like that.
And if you put that on your lines, the next
Yeah.
3 beers tasted exactly like it because it just didn't come out.
I mean, it's not the worst flavor to put in your lines,
No.
but your beer's not going to taste like you want it to.
Yeah.
Keep that in cans too.
Dude, we put one of those. So Purdy's, fantastic little like dive bar. That's not really the original location is still there, but it's not open as Purdy's anymore. But he put a keg of that New Belgium on, and I like hard sold him on it. I was like, hey man, like, you know, this is Buckley. People are gonna love it. And
yeah, you sold it to me.
I did sell it to you. I sold it to Ron too.
I remember that.
You know why? Because we had to. And yeah, sure enough, he was like, hey man, like I have a space dust rolling through that line right now and it's like this whole bar smells like fucking weed. And I was like, yeah, sorry. Here's Doug's number if you want to replace your line.
It's an expensive keg.
I know. So you got to help me out.
Yeah, I mean, I basically told him, like, get a separate kegerator that you can put something like that on, and you just easily replace the line every time you need to.
Yeah.
But other than that, like,
Goodness.
good luck.
So what did you guys? So you guys you went and hung out afterwards and like just kind of chilled with all the other nerds?
The sports center.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very nicely hosted. They had this like catered food and everything at the sports center, and then the locals took over at about 10 o'clock or 10:30, which was fine because we were old and like wanted to go home and sleep anyway. But yeah, they have like the sports center
Yakima
has changed. Have you guys been to the sports center? Did you guys go?
No.
There's like a pole in where there used to be karaoke. They now have a dancing pole there. And
A fitness pole.
A fitness pole. Yeah.
That's what Proctor moms are calling it.
That's what we're calling it.
But unfortunately, the beer that was paid for very generously was draft beer, and it wasn't the best draft beer. After my whole presentation, I was like, I'm going to get a can. And they're like, well, that's not on the tab. And I was like,
Doesn't matter.
okay. So I was drinking out a dirty
Were you
draft
guys at my
line.
talk?
Hey, so here's my card. Wait.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, Sports Center, if you're listening. But it's not, they need better cleaner.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Close the story out with a hot take on like a popular dive in Yakima.
I mean,
That's all right.
It was super fun.
Nobody goes there for the draft beer.
No, yeah, it was great.
Well, you two also went to Yakima.
We did.
We hung out at Single Hill,
Did you?
right in Hop Country.
Yeah.
Right downtown.
Dude, I was following you guys vicariously, and I'm very jealous of the adventures you went on. So why were you two over in Yakima?
Well, Single Hill, actually, Brandon from Bottle Works asked Peaks to be part of the annual Energy Cone Fresh Hop that the Single Hill brews every year since 1920. And it started off with just...
Since when?
1920.
I didn't even catch it. I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done history on the pod. I'm just trying to pepper it back in.
2020, thank you. And so it was Brandon from Bottle Works and John from Full Throttle. They drive over to Single Hill, which is downtown, and they brewed the Energy Cone. And Single Hill, obviously, they're right in hop country, just like Bill Breaker, and all the breweries hang out there. That's like home base. They like Georgetown rents a house for a month.
just to go do hop selection and hang out at Single Hill. Totally.
Yeah. And so you see just, head owners and head brewers in and out at Single Hill. And Single Hill, they brew something like 10 fresh hops. 9 of them are collabs.
Yep.
So that's the most important thing to them is the collabs, how they determine what the beer is going to taste like. First, it's the collabs and the thoughts. Then it's the farm. And last is the actual hops. Yep. They're really big on collabs. And they do something called the fresh hop, the rodeo. Fresh hop rodeo, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They put a booth in the middle of the room, and there's 3 beer flights, and they're blind. And you pick your favorite, and you drop the number in the boot. And I think Living House won first round.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure.
think that's right.
With their rodeo clown car. And then they beat Grand Fur and Hetty Alice. They beat Hetty Alice.
They beat Hetty Alice.
Oh,
Hetty Alice.
Hetty Alice.
They're making excellent fresh hops.
Yeah, so far they're, that's their.
And then a couple years later, they invited Dwayne from Bridge and Tunnel in Astoria. And then just this year, they invited Peaks and Pints.
Yep.
And so all 4 of us were over there, and Phaedra and I represented Peaks.
I totally just said, hey, I'm going.
Yep.
When are we leaving?
I'm getting my shift covered, so you can pick me
I'll get my
up.
But you had to sleep on the floor.
It's okay. It was comfortable. Actually. Anyway.
I've done many beer
That's a
events
whole
sleeping
nother
on the
story.
floor.
Totally.
Other people's hotel room.
The Airbnb was next to a winery.
Yeah, it was it was not next to, it was part of the way.
Yeah.
By next to, he means like 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you need a beer
From door to
break, you
door.
just,
Yep, totally.
Perfect.
I'm so sick of really good beer. I'm going to get some really good wine.
That's kind
Across
of our
the
day
street.
2 there, actually. And so we all got there. However, all of us rolled in between 8 and 9. The tanks weren't ready. No, they weren't ready, and so we did not brew that September 11th day. They actually brewed it. They were going to do it Friday, but then that didn't work. I think they did it in the weekend. I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, but you guys get to go and hang out, talk about the actual collab.
But yeah, we talked about the collab, and then we went to several hop farms to get hops for their future beers.
Cool.
Yep, we went to Double R for some Citra, and we went to Weenus. But at Weenus is when the rain came and the high winds.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was
Like a
crazy.
total rain.
And
So unusual.
We
Like,
did not get a tour because they were in complete panic
They were
to
out
get
in the
out there and
fields.
make sure the trails didn't fall over.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 It's so heavy so fast.
Yeah.
and all the ropes
Exactly,
come
and it
down.
would just ruin them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
so whoever was gonna potentially give us a tour was like out in the fields and just like, sorry guys, I got shit to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they
that's
let
crazy.
Zach from
Twice
Single
a
Hill
year
give
it
us the
rains
tour
like that
anyway.
in
Yeah.
Yakima.
Yeah.
Zach,
Was everything okay? Were the hops okay?
I'm pretty sure.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But it was a lot of rain in a short amount of time.
So it rains like
Yeah.
the south.
Yeah,
just
it was
for
just-
like 4 minutes, and it's just like the heaviest
Yeah,
downpour ever.
I don't know. It was, I think 2 inches. Isn't that what Kirby said?
Something crazy.
Wow.
Like that.
Yeah, like
it was
2 inches
intense.
in like just like 20 minutes. I mean, it was just like boom.
Yeah.
Just like a lot.
So all we saw was their German dryer, really, basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
You guys are like, all right, well, let's go drink some wine.
Double R, we got the full tour by Jessica,
Yeah.
one of the owners, one of the grandkids from
The original family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was awesome.
Yeah, she was. She was
Took us on a
awesome.
full
She
tour.
knew all. Yeah,
It's actually a
She was
good
great.
point. Is like for anybody who doesn't have the context, a lot of Yakima hop farms are still run by the same families that started them
sure.
a long time ago. Like it's the same. It's grandkids, kids, great grandkids still running those things. The
Yeah.
director of operations at this place is the grandson of the person who started it or whatever.
Yeah,
I love it. It's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, it was really fun.
yeah. Double R they have a newer facility that was just all of the innovations and things that they had put in place to just make life easier for them, moving the hops from one location to the next or whatever, and just some things that they'd come up with were pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're known for their alphas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Did you see
Sounds like such a
like
flex.
what happens after they get cut off the bind? Did I see some pictures of like? Did you go into production space
yeah,
where you
we
saw
went-
the whole,
we went
the
through
whole
the
thing?
whole process.
Yeah, it's so cool. I've done
Yeah.
that many times at Hop and Brew School
Mm-hmm.
when I've gone. It's so
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
And just the sea of hops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drying.
The
Drying.
smell and the
Yeah.
Watching the like the
crazy.
hangers that like they're like the conveyor belts that take the whole vine and like take, like carry them up the thing. That's
Yep.
my favorite part. And
Yeah.
it's like this large curtain of like
Yep.
moving hops the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could just could stand there and watch it for a long time.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like one of those satisfying like factory like machine videos where you're like, oh, everything's so perfect, but it also smells really good.
Oh, it smells great. And then all of a sudden there's an actual person going through and watching everything and pulling out like the leaves and so it's super automated and high tech and everything is, crisscrossing and there's belts going this way and, everything. And then all of a sudden there's somebody that's an actual person
Yeah.
that's, checking to make sure that there's not, stems in there, vines
Totally.
and things like that. So
Which way do the belts go again? I said now since we have video, I figured we could.
You should not go to CTAC.
Somebody, Chris,
Planes
mute
will
that and play Vogue music right over that, please.
it's true. I've got pictures and video of it myself.
I know.
It's true.
Yeah, all these different directions. It's impressive.
That's
just
so cool.
when you think about all of the mechanical, the engineering and stuff that has to, go into that. And these machines that have been doing the same thing for so very long.
Yeah.
For the love of hops.
Right?
All for the love of hops.
And only for a few weeks out of the year.
I know, for like 7 weeks.
Yeah, and then that's it.
It's like, congratulations on getting invited to do Energy Cone. Because that's like, for anybody who doesn't know, Single Hill is like I consider them to be one of the preeminent like hop users in Washington State for sure. But Energy Cone in particular to me is like a benchmark fresh hop. Like multiple years in a row. It's not only like a gold medal winning beer, but like multiple years in a row, it's been like in my top 3, like incredibly expressive, super well balanced fresh hop beers. And they just, they kill it every time.
Yeah, and it's ever evolving. They really don't know what hops are going to go into it until that day and what's available.
And even in that day, Zach changed his mind. We had, at the beginning, we were going to go see Double R and we were going to go see somebody else. I can't remember who it was. And another one. And then he switched it up. He's like, yeah, no, instead we're going to go out to Venus and we're not going there. I kind of like what's happened over there. And I mean,
I love that.
literally in the
I love
middle
that.
of the tour of picking up, collecting hops for whatever brewery he was putting together, he switched it up.
I think I actually like that's. I'm sure that there are like some very, very technical and scientific brewers who would find that very annoying. But like, I actually really love that. And like Doug, you're a music producer. I imagine that there's like times where you're just either you or your artist maybe just like all of a sudden changes direction just because of whatever feels off.
Yeah.
And like if you approach that with positivity, you can create something that is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that like guys like Single Hill, I think Pat's good at that too. Is like leans into his intuition a little bit, lets like a lot of his like focus on like the actual composition of the beer, kind of guide how he makes it. And Zach's always been great at that. I think Single Hill beers in general are all like they very much like speak to that sort of effort.
Yeah, that was the part I thought was pretty cool.
And there's a gorgeous tap room too.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's blue and white. And
totally.
It's big. The outdoor beer garden's giant. And
branded really, really well, and
Yeah.
it's really, really nice, and all the staff was fabulous. They've got really good merchandise,
Totally.
and they've just updated their glycol system or whatever with the cooling system machine that used to cool the printing presses for the newspaper that is across the street.
Whoa.
So Tristan, one of the other brewers, was telling me about it, and he's like, yeah, check this out. He goes, look over there.
Sounds like something to be so
totally,
stoked
he's
about.
like, so over there is a newspaper, and they used to see that tall thing. There used to be, that's where the printing presses were, and the machine that cools the printing presses. He's like, come with me, and we walk around the side of the building. He's like, that's right there, and so it's pretty cool. And
That's
the
awesome.
building used to be a tire place, like a
JCPenney.
Was it JCPenney?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's right, because
right.
the mall was
Yeah.
across the street. That's right. Yeah. So it used to be, a tire place or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
they met at a cider function, the two.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we both want to open up a brewery, so let's do it.
And it's really awesome. And that's, like
There's
you
a
said,
tire
a lot
shop
of
for
people.
sale.
There's a tire shop. It sounds great. But it's really cool. It's really cool. He was even talking about the original wood ceiling and everything and how it just naturally looks fabulous and
Totally does.
and works really, really great. And everybody was there. We went back.
Yeah.
I think we hit them 3 times that day.
Yeah.
In a day. It is kind of base camp for
It is totally.
everything
And
going
so at
on over
night there was
Between them and
everybody.
Bailbreaker.
Yeah, everybody was there.
Yeah, Kyle from Kings and Daughters rolled through.
Yeah.
Brad and Jason from Stoop.
Oh my gosh.
Trapdoor was there.
All the coolest people.
There was just people we didn't know. I mean, but they were still in the industry or whatever. I actually met a neighbor of Kirby's when they were growing up. He used to live on the neighboring farm. He's like, we got to talking, and I said something about Kirby, and we're gonna go see him, and blah 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 blah, and his brother, and he's like, who's his brother? And I go, Brandon. He's like, no way, I learned to swim in their pool, and so just total small world. And his family's in the industry as well. They're hot brokers, and it's just like small world.
Small industry.
Yeah.
I love
super
it.
fun.
Well, we're going to take a super quick break because I'm out of fresh hop beer, so I'm going to ignore that.
Thank goodness.
But yeah, hang out. We'll be right back.
Hello, Channel 253 listeners. This is Citizen Tacoma host Eric Hanberg.
And sound producer Doug Mackey.
And this is election season 2024. And if you're like me and sound producer Doug, you are watching those polls. Sometimes good days, sometimes bad days. Especially those swing states, the national stuff, North Carolina, Michigan, Arizona. There's a lot of things that we're watching that aren't Tacoma. And this is just a gentle reminder that there is this podcast network about Tacoma and things that are interesting to Tacomans, and that is Channel 253.
And as we move toward the election, Eric Hamburg will be back hosting Citizen Tacoma podcast.
We have Nate Bowling and Nerd Farmer.
Evelyn and Joe will be with us again.
There's always the white ladies to break it down.
And the sisters to make us open up.
So when maybe the national news is just a little too much, please consider turning to Channel 253 for your local content. And don't forget that, we are listener-supported, member-supported, $4 a month, $40 a year. Your support can really mean a world of difference to us right now. And that is at channel253.com/membership.
And thank you for your ongoing support.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out during the break. As always, a shout out to Doug, our wonderful producer. Woo! And to Chris for doing video.
Yeah,
Chris! And to people for hanging out while we're doing podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Yay!
Like it's just us.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, she doesn't watch.
Well, yeah. And then actually, extra shout out. We're all talking about fresh hop stuff. And it's September actually happens to be National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Kind of sweet.
If you're talking about fresh hops, you're talking about Yakima, there's no reason not to acknowledge the fact that Yakima's population triples overnight because a lot of farm workers come and get shit done over there. And this season in this industry certainly wouldn't be what it is without the Hispanic community that comes through.
Here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can I bring up when I was at the MBAA, she was telling us about a podcast that's in Spanish, and it's part of like a Master Brewers Association podcast, and it's in Spanish. It's
Cool.
called Maestros Cerveceros.
Okay. So beer masters.
Sorry. Sorry, my pronunciation. But,
What does that
cool.
translate?
It looks.
It's beer masters.
I just thought that was so cool. Like a craft beer podcast, and they do a lot of interviewing of the farm workers and that sort of
That's
thing,
awesome.
and
That's so cool.
like that side of the industry. So just thought that was really neat. So
Dude,
along
Mexico
with that.
actually has like a pretty booming craft beer scene. I was actually just talking to somebody about this because like there's like small booming craft beer regions all over the world, but they're mostly still sticking to like American European brewing traditions, and places like Mexico and other places like South America, parts of Asia are like now starting to kind of stray and do their own thing, and it's like, it's already creating like really cool ripples throughout the industry. So the more podcasts that exist like that, the better, because like somebody from one of these other places is going to come up with something awesome, and it's going to change how we all do things here.
Yeah.
So that's fucking rad. So yeah,
Nice. Zach sent me the actual hops they use for Energy Code.
Oh, really?
If anybody's interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said the bittering is fresh as fuck pellets from Moore Ranch and its Cascade. The hop back is wet Peralt Foams Mosaic and wet Black Star Ranch Citra. The dry hop is fresh as fuck pellets from Saab and Sons.
Okay.
Citra. And Cialis Farms Zappa, Loza Farms Comet, Cornerstone Ranches Cashmere.
Oh my gosh.
But mostly Citra and Mosaic.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
That's just in your collab that you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's
The coolest thing I thought was they built their own fresh hop pelletizer.
I'm so glad you said something. 'Cause I was just getting ready to say that.
It's
The
in-
best part of the day. Yeah.
it's in their back, kind of by where they keep the kegs outside, and you just dump and dump and dump, and you got a liquid nitrogen canister right there. And it looks, they build it themselves. It looks like, it rumbles and it moves, and then the pellets come out.
You put your hard hat on.
Yeah, totally.
Slowly.
It's really super cool.
It's super cool to be just dumping fresh, wet hops into this machine, and 5 seconds later, pellets are coming out.
yeah.
And
I think that really changed the way that like they did fresh hops, but I think it actually added to a lot of like different people's techniques. Not
Yeah.
that they were like the first people to like increase accessibility of like essential oils, but that's basically what pelletization of fresh hops does.
Yeah.
And I personally don't like. I work with 50 breweries and I'm a consumer of many more than that. And I had never heard of anybody doing that with fresh hops prior to Single Hill.
yeah, they're the first, my understanding, and
the
maybe,
closest I had
maybe
ever-
the only.
The closest I
don't
know of is Matt Hibbs sticking a weed whacker into a big 5-gallon bucket full of hops.
That's a close second.
That's pretty
There you go.
much the same thing.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And then him telling that to a bunch of brewers at Fresh Hop Fest and
Right.
being like,
They're like,
what the fuck are you
"What?"
talking about? And then he won all 3
And then,
first
yeah.
place medals.
It's like,
and they were like, hey, what the fuck were you talking about?
And then writing it down, like, wait, exactly, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that was
Yeah.
literally my most favorite fun part of the day was just like, wait, you do what?
Yeah.
And then are they keeping any of that, or are they using it right away? They're just
Use it right
using
away.
the
Right
pellets
away.
right
'Cause they're not
away. They're not
kilns.
drying it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
it's
kilns.
just. So what's the point exactly of doing the pellets?
So you break down all the like vegetal matter, all the leafiness and everything. You give the liquid way more access to the glands that are inside the hops.
Oh yeah.
That's the official reason.
Yeah.
The secondary reason is we're drunk and it keeps us busy.
And it's just really cool. It's really,
makes
cool.
for a great picture.
Yeah, because we were the
Probably-
ones dumping it.
Yeah.
Probably
kept us busy.
Yeah. Well, you probably measure it easier, like get better results, and probably easier cleanup. I would imagine brewing fresh hop beers
Yeah,
is
I mean,
so
it-
Yeah,
messy.
because
Yeah, that's-
Literally almost no cleanup.
So
Yeah.
much bulk
Yeah.
hops.
and the
So, yeah, it
nitrogen
reduces a
was,
lot of
was
that.
like there was
Yeah.
like a fog of
Yeah, for
of
sure. It was
gas,
Halloween
like-
kind of.
it was really cool just to cool down the machine. It was.
You guys
it
got
was
your
really
strobe light
fun.
out.
I know, totally. They should just put that in there.
Yeah.
Just
Fun.
like
That
Also,
was, yeah, the best part.
everywhere we went, it seems like everybody in the hop farms drove beaters.
Oh yeah,
Just trashed their cars. Yeah.
yeah. No, it was super fun.
There was no Teslas whatsoever. Just,
Could you imagine? in
I've
a
never
hop
heard a
farm?
better ringing endorsement for moving to fucking Yakima in my life.
It was great.
I didn't see a single Cybertruck.
No, I saw one.
I'm on Zillow today.
I saw one. No,
They
it
were
was-
visiting. They didn't
Yeah,
live
it was
there.
super fun. Super fun.
it was, a lot of laughs, for sure.
It was a good time.
And then we went to a ramen house. I wish we can remember the name.
If I
'cause the
had
beer
my
list
phone,
was
I
incredible.
could look it up, but it was. I can't.
think of it
If
either.
you Google
I ate tons of great
Yakima ramen, it
Yeah.
comes up.
It's-
It was
it's
really
one of two.
good.
It's about
No, it was just. I saw the name, and I think it starts with T, and I just don't remember the rest of it. I don't have my phone in front of
But
me.
you said the tap list was legit.
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Phantom bottles and
Yeah.
just like
Whoa, that's
that's what I'm saying.
a different direction. I think.
Yeah.
Ron,
That's
look at
awesome.
this.
Yeah.
Look what's on the list.
I am
Oh my
drinking as fast as
God.
I can.
Yeah.
Look what's on the list. But by then I think we had cocktails Hills.
Yeah, we
I
did.
think we went to
Your beard out.
And then we went back to
But we
Single
went back to
Hill.
Single Hill afterwards and had
Finished
more
the
beer
night
and
with
yeah.
all the visiting brewers.
With all,
Sure.
yeah, ran into all the other people that were wrapping up the their nights, their dinners out, whatever, meeting and doing whatever after
Sure.
day being in the
Doing farm
fields
stuff.
doing
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
And
it
then-
was just really cool.
Yeah. And then the next day, our plan was to go to Wyckoff.
It was,
Yeah.
and we did go to
We
Wyckoff.
did go to
we did.
Wyckoff.
Well, yeah, we did.
For how long?
That's part of my fuck up story at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
For how long?
So we got to see. We went to the fields.
So impressive.
It's ginormous.
It's ginormous.
So we're driving and driving because it's out in Grandview, so it's out from the city.
Yeah.
And there's just hops and other agriculture, of course, because
Totally.
it's Yakima,
Yeah.
so hops aren't the only thing there. But it's,
Well,
it's
Wyckoff
a
also
lot.
does a ton of
Right.
They do,
Yeah.
they do a lot of grapes. Grapes, I think?
grapes and blueberries.
Yeah.
And blueberries
yeah.
and stuff. And so I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, there's a winery right next door. So we can, after we're done, we can check out this winery. And I was like, okay, cool. And so we turn the corner and we're driving by this winery that has like all these ginormous tanks, like 20 tanks, storage tanks. So it's not like a tasting room winery. It's like
Yeah.
a bulk.
It's a commercial production.
Totally.
Yeah.
So there's no, place to sit down. There's no cute little,
Yeah.
person there holding a bottle
Yeah.
going, hi there.
There's no bed
Would you like a
breakfast.
flight? Yeah, nothing like
No
that.
fancy wine.
No. It was just like this.
No live edge bar or
No,
anything.
nothing. And I go, oh, okay, scratch that plan. We can't do that. But that's, because and they're affiliated, I think, with Wyckoff.
They are.
Sure.
And so that's just the scale of Wyckoff
That's
and
crazy.
anything that they kind of have anything to do with and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
That's
and
awesome.
and he's a big deal.
Kirby is a big deal.
He is a big deal.
He's a big deal.
Oh, like in the
he's
in the
he's the guy.
farm scene.
He's just the guy. And
His
he's
walkie-talkies just popping.
I know. And they were having some kind of a inspection going on, and so Grayson, he said, was out in the field, kind of handling that, and they were actually double checking things after the rains too, because I think they got a little bit on his end. But he took us out, and so we could see the picking and stuff like that, the harvesting, and they've got these really cool machines, the new machines that. Instead of the traditional
Top cutters and bottom cutters.
yeah, you still use the bottom cutter. And so instead of having the top cutter come through and just take the whole, vine with the string and everything and putting it in the truck, it strips it right there in the field.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
it's got this whole track system with like tires and everything, and it takes the vine through it. And what he said it's like taking rosemary and pulling rosemary.
it through the strainer, which I
Basically,
totally do.
Basically, that's what it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so what's left behind in the field is the vine, and all of this stuff.
Yep.
The good parts is what ends up
Like actually in the truck.
actually in
Yeah.
the truck. So
That's
they're
interesting.
hauling way less product
Sure.
and they're able to fit more of what they really, really want
Mm-hmm.
into the truck and everything like that. So we got to see that. That was pretty cool.
That is
So,
cool.
Phaedra, when you went back a week later, because you love hops.
Okay, yeah, what the fuck? I was about to ask that because I thought you two came back, and then I was like seeing pictures, and I was like, "Did you stay a whole ass
No,
week
no.
in
So
Yakima?"
what happened? What happened is we had to cut our trip short a little bit, which we'll hear about more later.
Okay.
With Kirby, and so I was already going to Chelan for my family vacation, and so I just said, "Hey, Kirby, can I take you up on your anytime you're in Yakima or want to come to Yakima?"
Yeah, but you're nowhere near Yakima.
Well, I was sort of near it. I mean, I was on the eastern side of the state. So after our last day in Chelan, we just went back over to Yakima, stayed the night in Yakima.
Cool.
And Marcus had never seen any of that stuff.
Oh,
and
man.
so
That's exciting.
we went to Single Hill, we went to Bellbreaker, which we haven't
did,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah, we did
We
too
didn't
when we were
mention
there.
that, but we did take
Yeah,
a
we
beer
got
there.
to see, we ran into Kevin, and I actually saw him again.
Kevin, we saw Kevin and
Yeah, which
Megan.
Kevin?
Both of them.
Quinn, both of them
Both
actually,
Kevins?
but we didn't know.
And a Megan.
And Megan, yeah, Kevin's wife. Anyway, but so I took Marcus kind of, I'm like, hey, check this out. We're going to Single Hill, and we, went to Bellbreaker, and then we the next morning went and hung out with Kirby again.
Did you see his house?
No, didn't get to see his house. No,
He lives in the original
Who was it?
Richard-
One of the original Wyckoff Farm owner
Yeah.
homes. That's the
He
home
lives
that
in
he
that house.
has. Yeah. So
That's fancy.
anyway, no, didn't get to see his house. No, because we stayed in a hotel. We didn't stay with him. So
Next time.
yeah, next time we'll
Kirby, we're all rolling through next
when
time.
the whole grit and grain
Yeah,
crew.
when the bus comes through.
Yeah. He's like, come on, yeah, bring it. I've got a pool and a guest house and yeah. Anyway, so it was a good time. So when I went back, we actually got to go to the actual processing facility and everything like that. And I got some really good videos and seeing the drying and the baling and all of that stuff. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he took us to a couple fields too. So we got to see both versions of the picking and harvesting of it. So yeah, it was fun.
You good, Doug?
No.
What'd you lose your pen?
Well, I dropped a mechanical pencil and it immediately vanished. Oh, no. There it is.
Ron, you met Dwayne for the first time, I heard.
So, I've met him many times in
Okay,
Astoria.
but you like hung out.
At Dark Arts.
Yeah.
And I always come in and he's quiet and he has an excellent tap
He's worked Dwayne.
and
Yep.
hi. He's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a great guy.
He's a
I'm
sweetheart.
glad I got
Dwayne's
to meet
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Sweetheart.
I would like to find a way to talk him into coming to Tacoma for this
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, he's amazing. We sat next to him
For
at the
dinner.
restaurant.
Yeah, for dinner. And his partner,
Yeah.
was
Very
there.
fun.
And she helped with some naming.
Well, I can't remember.
IPA, I thought.
Oh, we did. I don't think we're going that way.
Oh, man, I thought it was really good.
I
Okay,
know.
well, then never mind.
Yeah. This is close, though.
Okay.
She's talking about the next Peaks house beer.
Oh.
Lewitt is brewing it.
Oh.
And Dwayne came up with a great name, but we're adjusting it
Well,
slightly.
she came up with the name.
Yeah, that's
She
right.
came up with the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Arena has definitely named
news?
beers for me.
Yeah.
Is that news that Lewitt's?
I guess I just made news.
You,
Well, shit, Ron.
I wasn't saying that part
Yeah.
because that was not in my
I always try to lean towards the
purview
mountains
to say that.
and the outdoors. And,
Yep.
I mean, they're named after Mount St. Helens, so. And they make delicious beer. So that's what we're doing.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Do you have a date on the brew day?
The brew date is the 8th of October. Tuesday.
Coming up.
Well,
It'll be-
shit.
And then we tap it, of course, on our 8th anniversary, November 1st.
8.
8.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all going to be here, and then we're all going to be in Puyallup, and then 2 days after that, we're all going to be in SeaTac.
Yeah. Matt has overscheduled us.
I have overscheduled us. I'm so sorry.
I am stoked.
I am too.
It's going to be great. Brawl Up is looking awesome, and then we're going to be on site at the Washington Craft Brewers Summit.
Which is not in
SeaTac.
Puyallup anymore?
It is not in Puyallup anymore. They needed a bigger venue because they wanted to do a few extra things that they haven't done previously. Shauna, who you guys might know from previous episodes, is actually running. And we got Ron's
Nice job.
abuse of his workers on video.
Oh, damn, I forgot the video. I forgot to comb my hair.
It was
Leave it
great.
in.
You made it over.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Just bullying the kitchen
Might
staff
come back.
on live, dude.
But yeah, Shauna's running.
Yes.
So she's running it?
Shauna Cormier is running it now. She's leading all she does like new membership and events for the Washington Brewers Guild and has been super active. She, I would say, probably was the reason why Father's Day Fest ended up being at Seattle Center,
Which was
turned out
fabulous.
so well.
Yeah, it did.
She put a shitload of work into that.
Yeah.
With almost no money, as far as I understand. So
Yeah.
she did a lot. So I have the feeling that Brewers Summit is going to be awesome and it's going to continue to grow. So I'm excited to be there for its new iteration. But Burrallop is I actually talk about this a lot because actually the three of us showed up to Burrallop last year, all on our personal time. It's probably the only festival that I think I go to on my personal time. So Andy and AJ, who have also been on, organize Burrallop every year, and it's their 4th year. And attendance goes up every year. They have tons of seating, they have tons of food, they have great music. And it's the only
great
one that
music.
I go to on my personal time. And then we all three just ended up being there.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Without even talking about it.
So was it always in conjunction with the conference or whatever?
I think that's
no? Or was
kind of
that
how it started. Was
Okay.
all these fantastic beer makers are here anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hang out for an extra day and we'll do a little beer fest?
So do you think that's going to maybe affect it at all since the
it
location's
might.
different?
I mean, it's hard to imagine that it wouldn't affect it, but I think there's also a big difference between having industry people organize festivals and having non-industry people organize festivals. I think that's if I was a brewer, that would be like my first question is like, who's organizing it and how are they connected to the industry?
Yeah.
Because that answer can make a big difference on whether or not I think it's actually going to be run in a significant way that might actually add value to what I'm doing. Most brewers are losing money when they go to festivals, so if there's any sort of value in it for them, it's probably going to come from people who understand the industry. And Andy and AJ do, so I think they go out of their way to make sure that brewers who come really feel valued.
Cool.
So that's why I'm going to be there. That's why we're going to be there.
Yeah.
Right on.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Heard you have some fuck-up stories, Ron.
All right, Grit and Grainers, I'm Sean Jackson, and I fuck up all the God-blessed time, as we all do. So, please do regale us with your fuck-up stories.
Well, so the first one. Our Airbnb was pretty awesome. The view was fantastic. And then my bedroom, which I didn't sleep on the floor.
The master suite.
It was like 1,000 square feet.
It was ginormous. It was bigger than the rest of the other half of it.
And there's a nice hot tub overlooking, and I did that too. I was so excited for the second night. But I forgot to make that reservation.
I swore I
made
the second night.
I swore I made reservations for 2 nights. So we're in the middle of Grandview at Kirby's Hop Farm when I get a text going.
Stop! We're wearing like reflective safety gear and hard hats.
You guys are.
He's all about like the equipment, so we have the earplugs. And we're watching the hot vines get strung up, and they're going through the machine, and we're so excited because we're going to get to go and see how it all works.
And then Airbnb texts me, go, where are you?
What?
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah. Like, why is all your shit still here?
Totally. That's exactly it.
Exactly what they wrote.
I was like, Phaedra, they're texting me. And I'm like, who? And he's like, the Airbnb. And I'm
fucked
like,
up. I only did one night. I could have swore I did 2.
Oh, my God.
They put all our shit together. So they touched my underwear.
Well, my shit was... Okay, wait. My shit was already together.
They balled up my socks and put it in my shoes.
My shit's everywhere.
My shit was already together. It was in a bag. It was in the corner.
But
it was all
like
squared away.
100 miles an hour to get back.
Oh my God.
All your shit's on the front porch like you had a fight.
Pretty much that.
Yeah.
And that's when we first tasted the wine next door.
So we get there.
Well, our fucking afternoon just opened up.
So we get there and we, take our stuff and put it in the car. And he's like, I think we need wine. So we went and we just walked, like I said.
And then we went to another winery.
We did.
It was more of Prosecco.
Yeah, it was sparkling wine. Trevery.
Just hearing about how you two travel makes me so fucking dehydrated. It's insane. I work in this fucking industry and I'm sitting here like...
It's definitely questionable. We always have a good time.
Then we went to Varietal.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Wait, meanwhile,
we drove back.
to sleep that
Phaedra
night?
just remembered after the second wine. She's like, oh shit, we did go to another winery.
Almost all the way back to Grandview and to Sunnyside.
Yeah, to Varietal because we wanted to go because we were there.
Yeah.
It's like we gotta go to Varietal.
Hang out with Kirby, check out his house, go swimming. It was cool. Then go to Varietal. Yeah, and then go back to the hot tub and just chill.
Oh, but who did we see at Varietal? Remember we drove by?
Shane Johns.
Ron's like, he's driving, trying to park his car, and he looks, and there's the E9 van.
I go,
and he goes, Phaedra, look!
Don's here. No, it's not
What
Don.
the fuck?
It's Shane.
Yeah.
Brewing a fresh hop.
That's insane.
So Ron
to me.
talks to somebody, and blah 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 blah, and then disappears off into the bowels of the brewery. I'm ordering a beer, and then he comes out walking with
Shane.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, what is Shane doing over on the east side of the state during fresh hop season?
What's he brewing a fresh hop?
That's crazy.
It's really great.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe,
I can't wait to taste
Wow,
it.
heard it here first, yeah.
I know, seriously.
Oh, and there was a celebrity sighting too there. Jennifer Gardner was there.
Jennifer Gardner was there.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Sure, she was a Varietal. She was standing right in front of me in line. She was.
Which Jennifer Gardner?
The actress one.
I need clarification. I'm like, nothing to do with beer.
It's Kirby's sister Jennifer. We just call her that when she hangs out in the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was there. It's so
What the
funny.
fuck?
Yeah, so she was there.
Drinking beer?
Just
Drinking beer, hanging out. She was in the valley, I think, looking at, I don't know what she was there for, produce, whatever. But
I'm gonna go change
she
my
was
IMDb
there
rating of Electra now.
talking,
She's way cooler than I thought.
Yeah. She was talking to the beer tender and a customer about apple varieties and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then she walked away, and then they were buzzing, and I'm like, who were we talking about? And they're like, Jennifer Garner. And I'm like, okay, I guess you're right. That is her, So anyway, yeah. And then when I saw Kirby the next week, he's like, so the same night that you guys were there at Varietal, guess who was there? And I'm like, I know.
Shane
I saw
Johns.
her. Right?
Crazy, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So yeah.
Where did you guys stay that night?
At our own homes.
Oh, you guys drove back that day.
We left at 8 p.m.
Get the fuck
I drove
outta
120
here.
miles an hour.
And
Okay, maybe
got
not
back
that
at home
fast.
at 10.
Did you take
Maybe not
410?
that fast.
I hope
No,
not. I
no,
hope
no.
you didn't take
Dude.
410.
You don't drive 410 at night. I wouldn't. I mean, maybe some
I
people
did.
do.
I took it.
You didn't drive 410 at
no,
night.
we did.
Yeah,
we
you
did.
went over
No.
90, like
Totally.
Yeah, like a regular person.
I can't believe you guys
Beautiful
drove back.
drive, though.
Yeah, oh, I mean, you can
I
see
took
it.
410
It's daylight.
both ways, just
Yeah.
leisurely.
Yeah, we
so
did,
pretty.
We did. Marcus and I did 410 when we came home,
But
but it was
let's-
during.
Let's
the day.
talk about the real fuck up.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
So,
really our fuck up.
John
Somebody else's
from
fuck up.
Full Throttle brought Paul, his assistant.
Yeah.
And
Who's
a
hilarious.
super
Oh my
funny.
gosh, he's super
You
funny.
got to go to
He's
Full
hilarious.
Throttle and talk to Paul. He's awesome. He at Double R, we needed to grab some Citra hops, and so Paul and the manager for Single Hill Commons in Seattle. Yeah.
Andrew.
No. Was
She's
it-
super cool.
Never mind.
Anyway,
Oh,
it doesn't
oh,
matter.
Shit.
Yeah, what's her name?
No,
Georgia. Yeah, she was awesome. They're in the hop room, just filling
huge
bags,
bay that's
filling bags. And then we get outside in front of Double R, and Paul goes, "Where's my glasses?"
Where's my sunglasses?
Yeah, I had them when we walked in. So there was a chance that they're in the giant hop pile.
Oh, shit.
And
Jessica.
Jessica is keeping a straight face.
Oh my God, she
knows
was so
this is horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
that you could fuck everything
She was
up.
so cool about
Yeah.
it. He's like, so I had my glasses right here on my shirt when I started just like,
my God.
getting all the hops into the big, humongous bin or, bag that we
Yeah.
had. And when we were done, I didn't have them anymore. And she's like, okay. She's like, all right, well, she goes, thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, we'll figure it out.
You can
And she just stayed
you can see her brain just
Yeah.
going.
so calm and cool it was crazy. I'm
You're
just like,
never finding those.
oh, this is so bad.
Dude, for anybody who's never seen like you could park 3 semis under a pile
It's
of
bigger
fresh
than
hops
this
when they
room.
harvest. Like it's
Bigger than
it's
this room, and it's deep as
unfucking
this
believable.
room, yeah.
You would never find them.
So we thought, okay,
Someone will
hopefully
after
they're in the bags that we
fruity.
collected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hopefully they're in the bags in the van that we collected, because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
we all dive into the bags and start just going through them, and Dwayne pulls them out. Oh my God!
Wow.
Also, leave us to Dwayne to like save the day too.
Dwayne saved the day. Yeah.
That's
Holy
crazy.
shit!
in the meantime, Paul's just because he at first
Yeah.
he like kind of dove in with
Yeah.
both arms,
Yeah,
and he's just
I
got
swear there's some on his nose.
I
too.
mean,
He was
hot.
in deep.
dust. And
Oh, yeah, you guys must have
everything
been
just
itchy
stuck
as
to them.
shit.
Yeah.
He was kind of the main person that did the diving.
Well,
'cause they
fair.
were his glasses, but he just had it all over him and everything. But then they decided to start pouring it from one bag to another to really get in there and figured it out and found him, thankfully. But
Dang.
Wow.
That's
yeah, so,
so
it could have.
exciting.
Yeah, everyone did a cheer. There was
Hot take
video.
though. Hot take though. That's not a worse fuck up than your Airbnb thing. No. Like that could have been way worse for sure, but like,
No, it was,
Yeah, I had to drive late at night.
yeah, man.
yeah.
You're drinking a bunch of wine.
After drinking wine and beer and
Okay, I
all the
agree.
I
things.
appreciate you trying to deflect there. I respect the hustle there.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
It ended up being a really fun day.
It was super
Yeah,
fun. It was
yeah.
great. We had a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
Lovely Prosecco.
Yes, at Trevery, I think is the name of
Yeah.
it, and then Freehand.
Oh, nailing it.
I know. What's in this stuff?
Ron was focused on
It's a
the drive.
miracle.
Yes. All right, Grit and Grainers, I'm back. Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and fresh hop talk, such as, is that a pocket talisman cone, or are you just happy to see hop me? You get me so hot, we should skip fuggling and go straight to the pride of Kent. You get me wetter than fresh weenus cones. I'm gonna mash your fresh pearl so hard you'll forget the carboy on the next block. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as quickly as we can. If not online, on air. You should subscribe to Grit and Grain on YouTube and Apple Music and Spotify and Google Play and iHeartRadio and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on Channel 253 and the gritandgrainpodcast.com. Woo! Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes, beer news, and reports on Oktoberfest, the bizarre and fabulous annual Munich celebration of all things beer und steel, signs und alcoholish, where you come in buses and cars and probably on horseback, on airplanes and motorcycles and mopeds. They come in all shapes and sizes, girths and genders, shoe preferences, ages and religions, hairstyles, nearsighted, the slightly insane, and the arithmetic typists. They come from all over the world, from every corner of the globe, to imbibe more than 12 million gallons of liquid in a little over 2 weeks, singing and chanting and reveling, an unbelievable number of people sucking down and believing the qualities of beer. If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations. Tuesday is National Pumpkin Spice Day. Ooh. Nothing makes a person feel more spooky, thankful, merry than this pre-holiday time of the year. Prancing around in designer activewear, sucking down sugary, artificial flavored squash and spice cup of joe like a freaking bodhisattva in a coffee shop. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, spicy.
Welcome back, Ron. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.